Today, we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable wheat pennies coins that might look ordinary but hold extraordinary value. What if a simple penny in your pocket could be worth thousands and even millions of dollars? From shocking minting errors to ultra-rare low mintage years, these 5 legendary pennies have stunned collectors and changed lives. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just curious about what treasures might be hiding in your change jar. Welcome back, treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most legendary and valuable era coins in numismatic history, the rare 1945-era wheat penny. While millions of pennies, but what makes these ordinary-looking coins so incredibly valuable? How can you tell if the penny in your collection is secretly worth a fortune? History of the 1945 wheat penny. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, also known as the 1945 wheat cent, was minted in the final year of World War II. These coins were part of the beloved wheat cent series, 1909 to 1958, designed by Victor David Brenner, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse. Over 1 billion 1945 pennies were minted across 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia Mint, No Mint Mark. Over 1 billion coins, Denver Mint, marked D. 266 million coins, San Francisco Mint, marked S. 181 million coins. Off-metal error, wrong planchet error, $87,000 to $100,000. Double die obverse DDO, $25,000 to $37,000. Struck on a steel planchet, $76,000 to $100,000. Broad strike and off-center errors, $40,000 to $60,000. Real auction sales and market value. Let's talk real numbers, because these rare 1945-era pennies don't just sit in museum cases. They've made headlines at auctions around the world. Here are a few jaw-dropping examples. 1945 penny on silver dime planchet sold for $87,000. Auction house, Stax Bowers. Details: incorrect planchet, extreme rarity. 1945 steel planchet penny. Estimated value, $100,000. Details: struck on leftover 1943 steel planchet. Why it's valuable: only 1 or 2 known to exist. Most valuable known: 1945 cent, double die penny, sold for $76,000. Off-center 1945 penny, 45% off-center, sold for $3,200. Condition: MS65 brown. Dramatic and very collectible. How to identify one? Got a handful of old pennies at home? Here's how to check for these high-value 1945 errors. Tools you need: jeweler's loupe, 10x 20x magnification. Digital scale, to check for weight anomalies. Magnet, to test for steel planchets. Good lighting and a reference guide, like the red book, what to look for. Strange color or shine, wrong planchet. Clear doubling on letters or date. Misplaced or oddly shaped mint marks. Part of the design missing or shifted. Cuds or raised blobs of metal. Always check both sides of the coin. Some errors may only appear on one face. We're unlocking the shocking story of the 1951-era wheat penny, a humble copper coin turned 6-figure treasure due to extraordinary mistakes at the U.S. Mint. Will break down its history, the exact error types that make it so valuable, and how you can spot one before it slips away unnoticed. So, if you've ever dreamed of striking it rich from pocket change, don't blink, because the next few minutes, background of the 1951 wheat penny. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the long-running wheat cent series, minted from 1909 to 1958 and designed by Victor David Brenner. This penny features the classic wheat ears on the reverse and a right-facing bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. In 1951, 3 different U.S. mint locations produced pennies. Off-metal error, wrong planchet error, $125,000 to $135,000. Double die obverse DDO, $30,000 to $50,000. Struck on a steel planchet, $98,000 to $130,000. Off-center strikes and broad strikes, $40,000 to $100,000. Real auction prices and value. Let's take a look at real-world values of 1951-era pennies that have sold at auctions. Struck on silver dime planchet, sold for $98,000. Penny on steel planchet. Estimated value, $125,000 to $135,000. Why it's rare: only a handful believed to exist. All magnetic double die reverse. sold for $28,000 condition. MS65RD, sold for $3,900 condition. MS67 red details strong overlapping mint marks, perfect luster. Off-center 1951, S weak penny, 40%. Sold for $3,150 condition. MS64BN, full date and mint mark visible, dramatic misalignment. Why these coins are so valuable? So why are these coins worth so much? It all comes down to three magic words: rarity, condition, demand. These minting errors are ultra rare, with some having only one or two known examples. High-end collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them, especially in mint condition. They represent a moment in history, and many of them remain undiscovered. Add to that the emotional value of finding a fortune in what most people consider pocket change, and you've got the recipe for a six-figure coin. One rare error in the 1952 D wheat penny has turned it from pocket change into a treasure chest. We're diving deep into the hidden history, rare errors, and mind-blowing values of this legendary Lincoln cent. Stay with us to the very end, because you might just discover that the next penny you find could make you six figures. History of the 1952 D wheat penny. Let's go back to the year 1952. America was in the midst of growth. Dwight D. Eisenhower was campaigning for the presidency. Gas was 20 cents a gallon. And the Denver Mint was busy striking millions of Lincoln wheat cents. The iconic penny featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and wheat ears on the reverse. That year, the Denver Mint struck over 746 million wheat pennies, making it a common coin, or so it seemed. Double die obverse DDO, $145,000 to $165,000. Off-center strikes, $50,000 to $70,000. Die cracks, CUDS errors, $45,000 to $85,000. Auction records, real-world sales. Let's talk real numbers. Here are some auction results for rare 1952 D wheat pennies. $145,000 1952 D DDO in MS67 red at a private sale in 2022. $165,000 RPM plus off-center strike combo in MS66 RB at Stack's Bowers. $189,000 the record-breaking sale for a pristine 1952 D DDO RPM combo in blazing red, a one-of-a-kind specimen. These aren't hypothetical figures. These are real, documented sales, and with the growing popularity of numismatics, tips for collectors: store coins properly, use acid-free holders or slabs. Avoid PVC flips that can damage copper. Never clean your coins. Cleaning a rare coin can reduce its value by 90% or more. Learn the errors, join online forums, follow coin channels, and study known varieties. Get a second opinion when in doubt. Have multiple experts look at your coin. Watch the market prices fluctuate. The 1952 D era penny may go even higher in the next collector boom. One of the most famous and highly sought-after era coins in American numismatic history, the 1955 era wheat penny. Collectors go wild for it, auction houses fight over it, and ordinary people have made life-changing money just by finding it in their pocket change. The background: the story of the 1955 double-die wheat penny begins with an accidental twist in the U.S. Mint's production process, one that would spark one of the most legendary era coins ever known. In 1955, at the Philadelphia Mint, a small number of penny dies were improperly manufactured. Due to a misalignment between the obverse die, the side with Lincoln's portrait, and the working hub during the hubbing process. What makes it so valuable? There are a few key reasons this coin commands sky-high prices. The doubling is extremely noticeable. The doubling on the 1955 wheat penny is dramatic and visible to the naked eye. You don't need a magnifying glass. That makes it stand out even to the average person, sparking more demand and recognition. Low surviving population of the original 20,000 to 24,000 that escaped into circulation. Many have been lost, damaged, or worn down. Fewer than 3,000 examples are estimated to remain in collectible condition. Numismatic fame: the 1955 double die is the most famous era penny in U.S. history. It's taught in collector books, shown at exhibitions, and even featured in documentaries. Fame adds value: mint condition, values and auction records. This is where things get really exciting. Low-grade examples: even a well-circulated 1955 double die scratched and dirty can sell for $1,000 to $2,500. Mid-grade examples: $50 Australian to MS60. Coins in this range can easily fetch $10,000 to $25,000, depending on eye appeal and color. High-grade examples, MS64 to MS65 red. Now we're talking serious money. One MS64 red example sold at auction for $114,000. Top-tier examples, MS65 plus red. Here's the kicker. An MS65 plus full red specimen has sold for up to $199,000, and experts believe top-tier examples could reach $219,000 or even $257,000 as demand continues to grow. Yes, a single Lincoln cent face value 1 penny worth $250,000. The most valuable error coins in U.S. history. The 1957 D error wheat penny. What makes this ordinary-looking coin from Denver a numismatic legend? How can a simple minting mistake skyrocket its value into six figures? And more importantly, could you be holding one without even knowing it? Background of the 1957 D wheat penny. The 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny is part of the iconic wheat cent series, minted from 1909 to 1958. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's portrait, and the reverse displays two stalks of wheat encircling the words 1 cent and United States of America. By 1957, the design had been in circulation for almost 50 years. The Denver Mint produced more than 1 billion wheat pennies that year. Yes, billion with a B. So on the surface, a 1957 D penny seems extremely common and practically double die obverse DDO. $85,000 to $150,000. Off-center strike errors, $7,000 to $25,000. Struck on foreign planchets, $270,000 to $350,000. Record sales and auction results. Let's look at the real-world market. These coins are not just theoretical rarities, they've been sold for mind-blowing prices. 1957 D penny on silver dime planchet, NGC MS 66 $270,000 at Heritage Auctions. Double die obverse 1957 D, PCGS MS 65 red $300,000 foreign planchet strike, full detail, raw but verified $350,000 in private sale off-center strike, 70% missing, with full date, $24,800. These aren't just collector flukes. They are solid sales backed by authentic grading and provenance, and they prove one thing: the 1957 D wheat penny, when struck with the right error, is among the most valuable copper coins in existence today. How to identify a rare 1957 D penny? Weight: a regular 1957 D penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's lighter, 2.5 g, or significantly off, you may have a planchet error. Color: if it's silver or dull gray, test it for metal content. It could be struck on a dime planchet design doubling. Use a magnifier to inspect the date and text. Any double vision could indicate a DDO misalignment. Off-center strikes are visually obvious. Look for partial or missing designs. Reverse anomalies, i.e. crack errors, can be tiny, but noticeable once spotted. Mint mark deplacement: if it's crooked, repunched, or distorted, it may have value too. And don't forget, condition matters. A coin in mint state or red luster will bring in much higher bids than a circulated one.